Let's talk future bets. So if you check out the DK Sportsbook, you can find futures parlays. So we're going to take a look at some of those first. So first up, the worst to first parlay. Now you can get minus 160 odds for any of the New York Jets, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Denver, Philadelphia, Detroit, Atlanta, or San Francisco to win their division. The NFL does have a history of teams turning things around quickly. Geoff, do you like any of these options?
This I get why would be a tempting bet. You're getting just a basket of teams that, hey, I just need one to hit and I win my bet. But I really think we should be talking about the opposite. Like, there is a bet up here for all of these teams we're talking about: Cincy, Jacks, Denver, Philly, Detroit, Atlanta, San Francisco, not to win their division, Jesse. And you're getting plus 125. So I'm not really interested in having any of them to win the division because, I know people had San Francisco, but that division is a buzzsaw. Philly, NFC East, it's weak. Outside of those two teams, I just do not see a path for any of these teams outside of just catastrophic injuries to the top two teams in their division, which I don't really want to bet on. I think the plus 125 for none of these teams to win their division is the better side to be on. So I'm completely out on them on this win side.
Kenny, you completely out?
It is a hefty price to pay. I will agree with Geoff, but I do think that there are at least two good options here. I mean, the 49ers are probably the reason why people are taking this bet when you talk about the fact that, the Cardinals had sort of a slow end to the season. The Rams, they do have Matt Stafford, but they had their fair share of problems on offense. I think that the Niners could definitely do this. I think that there is an outside chance that the Eagles could do this as well in one of the weakest divisions in football, even though you do have Dak Prescott back for the Dallas Cowboys. And then when you look at the AFC, I mean, sure, why not? Maybe, maybe the Jets could do this. Maybe the fact that the AFC East has to play a very difficult, daunting schedule, the Bills won't have the same easy defenses to go against. Maybe they win a few fewer games, and maybe the Jets could win a few more games, maybe like 7 more games than they won last year. It is a really difficult proposition. I probably would not take it. But I'd probably just take the Niners to win the division, frankly. Take the Niners and the Eagles. I think that's a better way to spend your money.
AJ, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think both these guys are right. Look, Geoff, especially, I'm on the other side of this bet. You get better odds, and I just don't see any of these guys really pulling it off. But I agree with Kenny here that San Francisco might be the team to look at here. I'm not as sold on the AFC South as some people are. That doesn't mean I expect the Jaguars to compete, but they could be obviously better than 1-15. They almost have to be better than 1-15, right? But they're, maybe intriguing in another year or two. I think it's just too soon for them to make that huge jump right away. And so, yeah, I'm with Geoff. I'll take the opposite side of this bet.
All right, then there are a ridiculous amount of combinations to parlay 2 division winners, starting with the Kansas City Chiefs and the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kenny, you can get plus 110 odds that both teams will win their division. Do you think they will?
It's going to sound shocking, but I think the one that I'm less sure about is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, look, I know that it's, you don't have Drew Brees anymore, but Tom Brady's getting a year older, and we've seen, quarterbacks just as good as Tom Brady, like Peyton Manning, just hit an absolute wall. So this defense is absolutely amazing, but could it happen? I mean, there's plenty of great teams in that division. The Saints, I think, still have a pretty good defense and could still have a good offense with the way Jameis Winston played in preseason, even though I refuse to acknowledge that the preseason exists. So it could happen there for them. But, I think that this is pretty ironclad. I think that I'm not really concerned at all about the Raiders pushing the Kansas City Chiefs or the Broncos. As much as I like the Broncos, the Chargers, they had a lot of defensive issues. They probably should still carry some of those over into this season. This is actually a pretty good price on both of those teams to win their divisions.
AJ, plus 110 odds. Both teams will win their division. Do we like it?
I don't, only because I would like a better return here. I do think, I disagree with Kenny here. I do think the Raiders could, be in the mix here. There's so much variance here. One tiny little injury in KC, obviously, to the quarterback or even somebody else could kind of derail them. I think they're almost a lock as a playoff team, but to win the division, I do think the Raiders could challenge here. I agree. We don't really know what we're going to get out of the Saints on that side of it. So for just 110 odds, I don't like this bet. I do think if you were having me pick my division winners, I would pick both these teams to win the division. I just want better odds here than plus 110.
Geoff, how do we feel about it?
Yeah, pretty much exact same as these guys, actually. I would go looking for better odds. And I do kind of agree with Kenny. Like, I like the KC side better. A little bit more concerned about the Tampa Bay side. Look, Bruce Arians, I really like Bruce Arians as a coach, but like the 3 years previous to him winning the Super Bowl, his team had 7, 8, and 7 wins. It's not like he can't go. You know, this defense, for all the glory it got last year, it was actually really bad the last couple of years. So you see a little bit of regression maybe by the corners. Like this could be a secondary that has gotten absolutely burned in the past. I think I would rather go down to plus 155 and take the Titans and the Chiefs if I was going to do a combo with the Chiefs. Again, that Jacksonville, I mean, you've got Jacksonville with the weak O-line. I don't think they're going to be anything. You've got Houston. It's really just like a coin flip between the Titans and the Colts in that division, in my opinion, and Carson Wentz already banged up. So I feel like you're getting better return with the Titans and Chiefs, and the Chiefs is the side I'd rather be on over Tampa as well.
Okay, well, another combo features the Bills and the Packers at plus 170. Do you like that combo better, AJ?
This is perfect. This is the perfect spot for me. I like the value you're getting, and I really don't see a lot of challenges to either of these teams securing their division here. Look, the Jets are what they are. I won't break Kenny's heart by diving into that one. The Patriots, I don't expect them to be significantly better yet at this point. And the Dolphins, I'm not sold on the quarterback situation there. So I think the Bills are probably the easier side of this one. And that's saying a lot when you have Aaron Rodgers under center for the Packers, Aaron Jones, obviously, Devontae Adams, and Aaron gets, his security blanket, Randall Cobb back as well. I really just like everything the Packers have. Minnesota could maybe challenge him here, but a lot of that's going to fall on what they get out of Kirk Cousins. And I just don't think that, when you look at it 1-for-1 on both these sides, I think the Packers are just better, and the value at plus 170 is better.
Geoff, we like this combo, Bills and Packers, plus 170.
No, I definitely like this one. I do feel like the Packers are a side that you should be, if you're looking to make parlays in this futures combo section on the DraftKings Sportsbook, I think the Packers are a good side to target. The Chicago can't even decide who their starting quarterback is. Detroit is Detroit. So Minnesota, they've had some issues getting guys staying on the field in preseason as well. Could they challenge? They could, but I feel like the Packers are a very, very good bet for the division win. I would probably rather, again, go down to plus 200 and take the Titans over the Bills. I just feel like the division there is so weak. The Titans are so deep on offense, and they've improved their defense. But the Bills are fine. I still pretty bullish on them. I think they have a harder path, though, than the Titans. So, again, I'd rather go down to plus 200, take the Titans and Packers. But I think this one at plus 170 is still very much worth talking about. The Bills have to be the favorite there, no matter what Kenny's about to tell you.
Kenny, say it.
No, I think, again, the Bills probably win the division. I think it's going to be a lot tougher this year, though. They're not going to get free wins over, the Patriots and the Jets. They're going to be tougher opponents. That's just how rebuilding works. There's more talent on both teams. So you couple that with, playing a harder schedule. And, yeah, it's certainly possible this could be a tighter division race. I still expect the Bills to win it. But I'm looking at better value here. As Geoff mentioned, I think the Chiefs are pretty ironclad to win the AFC South. And when you look at the way that there's AFC West, and when you look at the way that this breaks down, I actually really like these division parlays because I like the Ravens to win the AFC North. I really like that bet a lot, but you get plus 200 odds on that now if you bring in essentially a free space in the Chiefs winning the AFC West. The Ravens are a great bet this year. I still don't think the Bengals are nearly where they want to be in their rebuild. The Steelers, they had a great defense. They still do have one, but you saw that the limitations of that offense last year, they overachieved for most of the season. And the Browns didn't really do anything to really impress me, considering all they do is run the ball. Their defense is average and they can't throw. And they kind of ran into some luck with the Steelers at the end of the season, and we saw what they were made of against the Chiefs. They just got railroaded. So I think that this is actually a pretty good bet. I think the Ravens is a big season for the Ravens, big season for Lamar Jackson.
All right, speaking of the Ravens, if you want to take longer odds on two teams to return to glory as division champs, you can get the Ravens and Rams at plus 525. Geoff, is that a parlay you'd be interested in?
No, unlike Kenny, and this is where we're gonna disagree today. I'm not big on the Ravens this year. Again, you've got a team who they're just stuck in a really tough division. Again, I think Pittsburgh is going to be better than people think. Ben looking good in the preseason already, and you've got Cleveland there who's added to their defense. Baltimore already at a disadvantage in their passing game with the loss of Rondale Moore. I just don't know how this offense takes a step forward. They've had trouble beating elite teams. I would much rather take a shot on some kind of other longer shot division winner. Again, I think you look at a team like the Washington football team, you pair them maybe with the Packers at plus 450. You can get them with the Rams at around plus 850 right now, the Washington football team. Look, is Washington a lock like a Green Bay or a Kansas City? No, but they're in a weak division. They've got the best defense there. I think that the odds you're getting with them, pairing them with another strong team like maybe the Packers or the Rams, I think that makes them a very good parlay target here. So for me, I'd be out on the Ravens, and I'd look to get bigger odds on a team like Washington.
All right, Kenny, you're in on the Ravens. How do you feel about the Rams?
Yeah, I actually am in lockstep with Geoff once again. I love all the parlays with the Washington football team. I was looking at the Washington football team and the 49ers at plus 800. You can get similar odds on the Washington football team and the Rams plus 850. I think that you want to take a shot here with the Washington football team. And if you want to take a crazy parlay like this and take two teams that didn't win their division last year, the football team and the Rams, the football team and the Niners, I think are two great bets. And when you look at the way that this defense played last year, this Washington football defense was insane. They have two of the best pass rushers in football. They're going to be disruptors this year for sure. I absolutely 100% do not believe in Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think he's probably going to end up retiring to be a professor or something after 3 weeks. But I think that this team on the backs of their defense, we saw last year they made the playoffs and almost beat the Buccaneers with no quarterback. They can do it again with no quarterback. So I like the football team in some of these parlays.
AJ, Ravens, Rams, plus 525. How do we feel?
Well, I'm with Kenny. I actually like the Ravens side here. And I do think they could be a good team to parlay up with, but I'm not sold on it being the Rams. So I'm going to kind of split the difference here with the guys. I'll take Ravens, Packers as an option, Ravens, Chiefs, something like that. To give you, again, to parlay a couple of them up together, I do think the Ravens are right there in the mix for that division, though.